Don't try it at all. It's a lie. It's like beating your head on a wall. Say no way. Marijuana's a fast way to fall. You will pay, 'cause it's doing you no good at all. And you know, if you gamble with life, you can lose it. Gotta grow, 'cause your life is a gift, don't abuse it. And you know, if you gamble with life, you can lose it. Gotta grow, 'cause your life is a gift, don't abuse it. Oh, never try marijuana, don't try it at all. It's a lie. It's like beating your head on a wall. Say no way. Marijuana's a fast way to fall. You will pay, 'cause it's doing you no good at all. And you know, if you gamble with life, you can lose it. Gotta grow, 'cause your life is a gift, don't abuse it. And you know, if you gamble with life, you can lose it. Gotta grow, 'cause your life is a gift, don't abuse it. A lot of people think that marijuana isn't dangerous, but they're wrong. Because not only does it harm a person's body and mind, but it often leads users to try other, even more dangerous drugs. And you know, if you gamble with life, you can lose it. Gotta grow, 'cause your life is a gift, don't abuse it. And you know, if you gamble with life, you can lose it. Gotta grow, 'cause your life is a gift, don't abuse it. Oh,
Well, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you are. I hope everybody can hear me. So how's everybody doing today? John, I'm sorry to hear you're not having a good morning. Hopefully you can stay for a little bit and hang out with us, and maybe we can even cheer you up a little. So, oh, and if you're wondering, yes, I've hijacked Robin's stream once again. Haha. Poor Robin. She is eventually going to, probably peck my little cat eyes out. Oh, wait. I hear a sound. What is that? Can you guys hear this sound? It's bizarre. Huh. Oh, what's that? It's Robin. She's live from her bird bath. I hope she flutters in.
Was that my cue?
That was your cue.
No. I wasn't sure. I was like waiting for a drop in your tone or something. And okay, do I hit the button? Do I hit the button? And oh, hey, hi, hi, Prairie Queen. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Excelente. Good to see you. Thanks for being here after last week's debacle.
Oh, I enjoyed it. I really did. You
Well,
probably didn't, though.
no, that was probably the worst day of my entire week. But I got to tell you how and why it happened. I'm going to tell you a quick, boring story. Okay, so I was I was looking at. I deleted all stuff, all the bells and whistles that I didn't need for this fancy ass gaming headset that I have. It's got this whole array of all kinds of shit you can do, speeds and I deleted all the stuff I didn't need, so I'm fine. And then I go along happy as a clam, and then I notice that these headsets have these little lights on the earpieces, and they'll like change color, they'll do a gradient thing. And I thought, I think I want to change the color. So I had deleted everything that would allow me to change the color on my headset. Why did I care? The hell if I know. So anyway, I went and I re-downloaded the engine to my headset, and it's yeah, Steel Series Arctis 2 gaming headset. I downloaded it and it gave me even more bells and whistles with this download. And so then I couldn't figure out how to get my sound and stuff to work ever after. So I had to go back. But I did change the color on my earpieces. I'm happy as a clam about that, but boy, did it screw me up. So, but anyway, I went back and deleted stuff again. I had to go back into the settings, not only on StreamYard, but also on my computer. And so,
Mm.
so anyway, that's how I got, so I'm back. So yay. So John Walkley's over in the chat. John aside, I'm so sorry you're not having a good day. I hope it's not health related or marital related or child related or okay, what else can give you a bad day? Do you have the shits? What else could give you a bad day? Lots of things, huh?
Mm, that's for
Yeah.
sure. Oh, and hello to John Walkley.
And John Walkley from across the pond. How are you, John? Good to see you. Thanks for being here. I'll bet Eileen Ebony is having a nappy because
Oh,
okay, so
yeah.
it's it's 8 o'clock at night for Eileen.
Mm-hmm.
So she might be napping, but she's up and down around the clock like I am. But it's sometimes it's I alternates. It's really weird.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So okay, we have this new guy heading up our country. Biggest office in the land.
Mm-hmm.
It used to have a huge amount of dignity to the office. There was a standard. It was, well, for lack of a better word, folks, it was presidential. Those who held that office. And of course, they had their shenanigans when they, weren't being presidential. But uh, there was always this measure of dignity. And uh, hello, folks, this is the circus. That's out the window. It is, I,
Yeah, I haven't really caught the latest, but I caught something about Elon and his child. And I'm going, what the hell? And I'm going, okay. This is. I'm sitting back with my popcorn.
yeah. Yeah, well,
This
and
is so. This is so not like Jackie O would be just flipping in her grave because she brought a lot of class, in my opinion, to the White House.
yeah, and then Rosalind Carter, she brought her down home dignity,
Yes.
that kind of a the heartland sort of a woman. And then, it- yeah, but now, and this guy this is his second time around. What the heck is wrong with us, you guys?
It just, yeah, I'm just, it just boggles my mind. Like I said, to me, it's like, okay, this has got to be like a reality TV show.
Oh,
It,
I know. Yeah, because it's not you.
yeah, well,
You can sit up there and put up your feet and watch the show, you know? Excuse me.
here's the thing. I don't know if you're aware, Canada we've always sat in the back seat to the Americans,
Oh,
which makes sense. And the thing, well, to me it does. And whenever your country does things, we sit back and it's mulled over, and more than likely we follow through with doing the same. Back in the day, I'm talking back in the 50s and the 60s, even fashion and style or
mhm.
things that are popular, it was always a joke. By the time it came to Canada, it was already 5 years old. But we would adopt these things, and I did. But now with the internet and instant, all over the world, they can mimic, or we can mimic, or anything. Um,
You can
the
be up to date with everything.
Yeah, with what the American government is doing. And I think I'm about the only Canadian out there, well, in my neck of the woods, when people are bad mouthing, I'm going, it's not the people. Okay, people, it's not the people, it's the government. And they sort of look at me, and that I just shut them up because I'm telling the truth. Um, when
Yeah,
it comes to any country, they start mouthing off. I just go, yeah, but that's not the people.
that's not the people.
And
Those words aren't coming out of any of our mouths. It's coming out of one guy's, and and the guys that are always up there on the podium are always the rich guys, always the old guys, always it's never anybody regular. But
no, no,
but
it's
you
not. And but that's politics and that's governments, and same with up here. Our voices are never heard. It's about what's benefiting them and big business. Let's face it. What's lining their pockets, and they're all got a hand in big business. So, which
yeah,
is
and
sad.
yeah, big business, and then beyond big governments, and then big like empires, and yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And it's funny how when you look back 100 to even 200 years, wow, it's changed. The political
Yeah.
agenda for the country, yours and mine, it's changed. Wow.
And I don't know which end is up, frankly.
Hmm.
You know, I no longer know what we stand for. Well, I sort of used to, all that the pap that's fed to us in school. It was like we were like the popular girls group, like in grade school, we were the popular kids, and now suddenly it's flipped, and now we're the mean kids. And to our own people.
Well, yeah. And it, from my end, I don't know what's going on in my governments. I try to stay away because it's just like, oh my God.
Oh,
And but I'm guessing, I don't know. I'm guessing it's pretty quiet in some regards, because of everybody's watching your current leader. I
and
don't know.
nobody knows what he's gonna do or say next. It's
Right.
like you get up every day, and do I dare open my news feed, because there's bound to be something that man's gonna just ruin my day, you know? And yeah, and people are, and I'm here in Los Angeles, and people are on edge. The the immigration issue and the ICE raids, and it's just, and the families, and I don't know, we're just real close to Mexico, you guys. We used to be Mexico. Why can't they be here? And they work harder than we do. Man, they put us to shame. That is a people. It's in their culture to just
Exactly.
do a
Fun
job
fact.
and do it well.
Fun
Uh,
fact. We
mm,
have like even I live north of Winnipeg, and um, we have every year. Um, not me personally, but the farms. There are farms out here that have documented migrant Mexican workers that come back and work for the summer or the spring through fall up here, which is usually we're talking into May all the way through into September, October if we're lucky. They work on the farms, then they go back. But
and
they are documented, they are
mhm.
legit, they have a proper house and everything, and they return. These same people return year after year. So they can cross through, I don't know where they live.
Mhm.
I'm assuming Mexico, but they do come through the Canadian border with no problem because of their documents. They do their thing, they go back.
I'll be damned.
Why not?
Well, years and years ago, America used to have something called the Bracero program. And it was that kind of a deal. They could legally work here. They could send money home. They could go home. They were here for the season. The Bracero program, exclusively from, I think, Mexico, Colombia, any Latino, uh, could was in the Bracero. And then I don't know which political regime ended that, but what a crappy ass thing to do. And then, they couldn't come over here. They were declared illegal, and they made the immigration process even more difficult. And forget the Bracero program. But damn. But anyway, here it's just everybody's on edge. But it's designed. Stuff's designed to keep everybody on edge. If it's not one thing, it's another.
Right. And um the way I look at it, like I've basically stopped watching mainstream media completely. May it be
Oh,
on
same
on
here.
TV.
Yes.
I took the unplugged my transistor radio that was in my kitchen. I unplugged that sucker. There was more news and craziness than there was music. And I don't get glued because we get the American TV stations like CNN and Fox and that.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed over the years the transition of how they lean politically,
Oh yeah.
which I thought, well, that's a whole other can of worms because in Canada, our three main TV news stations are the same way. And I'm like, oh my God, what happened to the Walter Cronkite days and all those other people that
Oh,
reported the news as fact? They
yeah.
didn't get their voice, like with their voice, they didn't show how they leaned. They
Exactly. They
just spewed the
reported.
facts, and
Yep.
that was it. Yes.
Yeah.
Now it's more, well, news has changed. It's all about ratings and money and all that. And
And it's not news anymore. And by the way, the American company NBC, it's strictly an entertainment show. It's a joke to call it news. It's strictly entertainment. So yeah, NBC, or I mean Fox News, yeah,
yeah. Oh, yeah. And
is a
so,
joke here.
yeah, like I still have satellite TV and I don't watch it. I think I turn it on once every 2 weeks now because for financial reasons, I whittled back the plan. I was paying $130 a month, and I'm one person, and I'm watching one channel for $130 a month,
Oh yeah,
and it was
not worth it.
slowly increasing more and more and more. We don't get the good packages where we can, watch a ton of TV or
Yeah,
whatnot for like $30 or $40 or whatever. But I did whittle it back to a $45 plan,
great.
and so that I could, and then included Turner Classic Movies because that's the only thing I would watch if I turn TV on. but I was forced to go with a basic package, which included the news, but I refused to watch it.
Yeah,
It's
it just
depressing.
raises it's depressing. It raises my blood pressure. Yeah, I just want to pull the covers over my head in
And
a
a
dark
lot of,
room.
yeah, and a lot of times I just say to myself, if I do listen to any kind of news, I'm going, how much truth is in that?
Uh-huh. And then you look it up to see if somebody else might have something to say about it. You know, you can always find that too.
You're right. And I do follow two people online when I feel like it. They left mainstream media. One was uh, a reporter for the CTV News. That's a Canadian TV station.
Mhm.
And then also, oh, I can't think of his name offhand. He was from Fox. Him and his wife now have their own independent news channel. And I do like them all because they're doing old style.
Oh, yay.
Especially the one in Canada. He's of that age where he remembers the transition from stating the news facts
To
to be-
reading. Yeah.
yes, it was all about embellish because we need the ratings, and no, you can't tell this story because that'll bring it down and da da. He got out of TV because of that, and he
Interesting.
he just and he reports as he sees it, and so does this American couple that were from Fox. And I don't watch them all the time because right now I'm also going through a stage of things are going on out there, but does it pertain to my little tiny circle around me?
Yes.
My
Yes.
50-mile radius. If not, if it's big and it's out there, I can't control it. I can't control what's going on overseas.
Right.
Unfortunately, I can't control what your leader's doing. And my heart breaks because I go, you all can't control what he does.
Yeah.
I can't control my own, parliament government. So I'm just going to do my thing as long as I know war didn't break out south of me.
Mhm.
That way I'll just, lock down and keep
Yep.
an eye out.
Yep.
Um, but honestly, I think if that ever happened, everybody's going to flock south. I hate to say it, Robin, but they're not going to come north
No.
because right now I'm under snow. Like, who's going to survive out there? But
Oh,
even our
yeah.
own, like when I do watch these people, the independent people online,
Mhm.
it's opened my eyes and it makes me sad because what is being put on our local TV and radio stations well, they're not putting it on. I didn't realize how many homeless encampments there are across Canada.
Canada.
Yes,
Wow.
lots of them. And I'm like, oh my God. And I learned of this before our winter and snow set in.
Mm.
And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And so it's not like everybody went off to BC and to Vancouver in the warm climate. They're all across our nation in cities that do get -40 wind chill. And
Huh.
I'm like, but you don't hear about that on our regular mainstream media,
I didn't have a clue about that. I thought you guys were just all, so far ahead of us with looking out for your own and
right? No, far from it, far from it. And so it's just, I was shocked because I figured, well, these homeless camps that like they probably sought shelter in, buildings or through agencies for the winter months, right? Nope.
yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God. And it's like, well, there you go. That's why I stopped watching mainstream media because they're not telling us.
Mm.
Now it's all stuff we're supposed to know, not the real stuff anymore.
Yeah,
So, which is
I
sad.
know.
But yeah,
Yeah, we really don't have knowledge of what the world is really like. None of us here, down here
no.
in the dirt.
Well,
We have no clue what the world is really like because all we know is what we're exposed to, you know?
This is it. That's why I go online sometimes to get like the newspapers and whatnot, or follow these two people's um, streams just to get a gist of what's going on. Most of the time I don't though, because it's so depressing.
It's
And
so
but
depressing. And what about your crime rate? Our crime rate is just off the charts here.
I'm thinking ours is pretty bad too. I know I'm hearing that the city, which is Winnipeg, is high crime rate and right now. But here we go. This brings in the thing of there are a lot of people who have now moved into Canada, even the prairie provinces, sleepy little prairie cities,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
um, who basically should be not here.
Ah.
And it's like, well, I think those people should be rounded up if you're going to do the whole rounding up. Um, yeah. And these are the people, a lot of them, well, just like in your country, I feel as though I feel as though right now what's going on with the roundup of these of certain groups of people is the ones that are doing no good.
Yeah.
And they're not going after innocent families who have wanted a better life and want to work, you know, as field workers or whatever else to make an honest living and raise their children in a better country. These are the people that I think snuck in. And from what I don't know if you saw that. Did you see when they were live streaming the people at the border?
No.
Oh my God, that was an eye opener. These people were actually YouTubers were live streaming it and watching them being rounded up. And these people that were coming over were basically they caught on and interviewed some of them. They were going straight to key locations to certain people to be housed and looked after, and they weren't coming into your country for any good purpose. They weren't coming over to live a better life with, their children or themselves. They were part of a bigger group,
Ah.
if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Males as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
And but it was amazing. So I was watching that a little bit and I just found that totally fascinating. So it's quite funny up here. My friends are still watching all the news and listening to the radio. And I sit in my own little house going, I'm watching all this other stuff on the internet, live feeds and reporters, ex TV, radio reporters. And I'm picking up this other stuff and I'm going, wow, I want to be in your bubble right now.
Oh shoot. Okay, this is Judy Jetson calling me, and okay, so this is the second time, and
Ooh,
okay, so I'm gonna carry on for me, Prairie Queen, would ya?
you're coming back, are you?
Oh yeah, I'm coming back.
Okie dokie. So, okay. So I see we have John in the chat, and well, Robin was there going curses. And John aside, I hope John aside is going to be okay and things work well for him and family. Yeah. So, oh my goodness. So, John, the last thing that you've said was that's why you loved Canada. So, well, Canada's a pretty good country. We're a very passive group of people. For the most part, we've accepted that our government's going to do what our government's going to do. We've always been that way. And yeah, there's nothing we can do about it. We just go to the voting polls and hope for the best. And yeah, yeah. So I'm trying to refresh the chat here. It doesn't seem to be refreshing very good. But yeah, so have I heard about the maple syrup? No, I haven't. Do tell, John. Hmm. Usually Eileen is on, and it
Okay, I'm
would have been
back.
nice to see Maggie too. So yeah. Oh, hey, welcome back, my dear.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, my neighbor sort of got upset with me. She says, "I was so worried about you," and I said, "I'm usually doing my podcast on Sundays," and she said, "Well, you didn't answer my call yesterday either." Anyway,
Hmm.
she's bringing me a potato and an onion because day before yesterday she says, I'm going to the store tomorrow. Do you need anything?" I says, "Oh, I could use a potato." She says, "You need anything else?" "No, I'm good." "You sure you don't need anything else?" "Okay, I'll have an onion." So she's sending her husband in just a minute to hang a bag with an onion and a potato on my back door because I said, "I'm doing this podcast." And bless her heart.
Oh, that
A-
is so sweet. You've got some lovely neighbors.
I have some dynamite neighbors. I really, really do. But I misnamed her. She's not Judy Jetson. She's Jane Jetson. She's the
Oh,
wife. George
right,
and Jane and George and Jane Jetson.
right. Yep,
And,
daughter Judy.
and their boy Elroy
Mm-hmm.
and something, the
Um,
dog. There was a dog.
yeah, what's the dog's name? I know
Ah,
Rosie's their housekeeper.
housekeeper. Okay, their their dog Elroy.
Nope.
And they no, their boy Elroy, daughter Judy, Astro.
Ah, there you go. Yes. Oh my God. Ah,
Jeez.
that takes you back to simpler
Excuse me.
times when we just sat in front of the boob tube and
Yeah.
life went on. There was no worries.
And you only talked on the phone when you were at home or at a phone booth or
Right?
or at work. Yeah,
Right?
we were tethered to nothing. We were free range. We were feral.
Well, I'm still a little old school. Mind you, of course, as you know, I work for the postal system. Mind you, I work by myself, but even when
Yes.
I work by myself, I put my phone to do not disturb.
Do
And it
you?
annoys me when acquaintances will text or try to call me and because they want to know if their parcel is in.
Instantly.
And and
Instant.
I'm thinking, honey, you've got the post office phone number, and if you don't, that's your problem. But the phone will ring. So if you
Yeah.
really need to know, why don't you call that or just better still, get in your car. It's only about 3-4 minutes away and come in. And
Oh
also
dear.
too, it's do you find when you're out, everybody whips out their phones?
Oh, everyone, yeah, everybody you see is holding a phone, and they're all
Oh
looking
my
down at it.
God.
Everybody, everywhere you go, everywhere, everywhere. My
Oh
my
yeah.
my family members all do that. You go to dinner, and everybody's got their phone out at the table. So
Yeah.
to when in Rome, so I always get my phone out, pull it out of my purse. I lay mine on the table, and I never look at it through the whole meal.
Oh, yeah. Like a lot of times I don't bother. Like again, my phone's on do not disturb. So that way when the phones all start ringing, I know it's not mine.
Okay.
Um, and or these people that, well, they can do it now in their cars and trucks. They get their phone calls as they're driving.
Hmm. Yeah.
I don't like that.
I don't either.
Um,
I don't either.
I feel like your brain, even though, okay, you're listening to a song on the radio and you start singing, your brain can handle that, I think, while you're driving.
Yeah.
But when you're trying to literally start thinking and communicating through a speaker while you're driving, I
E-
think you lose half of your your
Your
focus.
focus, your attention.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, because some of us get actual like thought pictures from
yeah.
words, and you're getting these thought pictures and you're paying attention to the, and so yeah, it is a distraction. And yeah, I'll stand by that. That is a distraction because I'm one of those, yeah, a lot of us get thought pictures when we're talking.
I
Um,
do. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah, but I think most people do. So yeah, don't do that when you're driving. That's
And then my vehicle is so old. Well, it's an '04. And so I don't have all the fancy bells and whistles. So
mm,
if my phone is ringing in my purse, I'm going, well, sucks to be you because I refuse to pull over on the side of the road to start yakking to somebody.
yeah, oh, good. My neighbor who has been, my neighbor right across from me. She's a single lady, and she wrecked her car. She totaled her car a couple months ago, and she was like my big form of transportation since I sold my car. And so we've both been kind of like flailing around, and she's got family that's been taking her. But anyway, she got another car. It's a used one. She's just had it about a week or less. We went out yesterday, but even though it's a used car and it's oldish, it's very beautifully kept, but it has, where she can hook up her cell phone to it. And
Hmm.
I said, "Okay, you can talk on your phone." She says, "I'm not touching that. There is no way even want to know how to use that." So all she wants to do is get in, drive her car, and go to the store. She doesn't want to talk on the phone.
Oh, I totally get it because once I'm in my vehicle and I'm on the road, I've got an agenda from point A to point B, do my thing and come back.
Yeah, yeah, maybe listen to a little music. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, but nothing
And
beyond that. Thank you.
oh,
No.
and I don't, well, you live in a more of a city like atmosphere. I live in the country. So I don't know if you've done this ever. Um, you'll laugh. So
Uh,
I might be on the highway going to our little teeny sleepy little town south of me, about half an hour away. I'll have the radio playing. Sometimes I'll be singing with it, whatnot, or just enjoying the song. The moment I hit town and I'm at the stop sign so that I can turn to start driving down the teeny weeny main street at, I think it's 25 or 30 miles an hour. Um, all of a sudden, I turn the radio down or I'll turn it off because I'm going, oh, I can't focus now. I have to watch what I'm doing.
oh, I get, I have to do that all the time. I used to, even like coming home from work, I would like, because I listened to this talk radio show all my way home. It was my routine. And as I'd turn my little corner around and I'd slow down to get into my back gate, and I would turn my radio down to hit my remote to drive into my back gate to park. You need, you can't have noise. You can't
You
have,
can't.
or if when you're looking for a house number, you can't have
Hmm.
noise. You can't have
Oh, yeah,
noise. Yeah, I
exactly.
get
Yeah,
it. I
yeah,
totally get
yeah.
it. Yeah.
I need to make sure I'm not hitting pedestrians or other cars. Mind you, what's the difference? I'm
What's
still
I
seeing things.
Yeah, I know, but boy, I need all my senses. I need all my wits about me. Yeah, no distractions. Yeah, I did that every time. Yeah,
Oh,
so I get it. You're not nuts. Well, maybe you
oh,
are, and I am too.
well, that's the way to be. This world is crazy enough that we're our own crazy. Make
I
our own crazy.
I know we're not hurting anybody. Yeah,
Exactly. That is
yeah.
so true. So,
Oh, I wanted to mention something too, and since my neighbor got her car, she said, "You want to go do something?" yesterday, and I said, and then I agreed because it was getting past noon, and once it gets past noon, I start losing steam. I'm a morning person, so anyway, I said, "Oh, sure, let's go." So she took me. We went to I don't know if you have them in Canada. It's a big, big, big drugstore, pharmacy, everything kind of a store called CVS.
Okay, we don't have CVS, but I'm familiar with what you are referring to. We have similar.
Yeah, and there's Walgreens and there's Rite Aid, but CVS is huge. So we went there because I had this card with money loaded into it from my health care plan, where
Mhm,
they give you this card, you can buy like ibuprofen and foot cream, okay. So we
mhm.
went, and I noticed that when I was shopping, the shelves were not stocked. They weren't
Oh,
stocked. And I used to work retail, and everybody took great pride in having a fully stocked shelf, and you rotate, by date, when the new stock comes in. Very
mhm.
look matched up like little soldiers. All the labels. Very few items. You'd have maybe one or two of a product in each category on these shelves. It was like little ghost town areas. And um, then I also noticed that there were iron gates across the booze aisles. Iron
Ooh,
gates. It was always like their practice of locking up the hardcore booze in a glass cabinet, and
mhm,
somebody'd have to come and open. But the wine was always like free out there.
mhm.
Now, even though they have iron gates at either end of the booze aisle.
Oh my
That
goodness.
and then we walk a little further. I'm putting stuff in my car, and then I come upon okay, because I really needed stuff for my old lady wrinkled up skin. I want some body lotion and stuff. So there were all the cheap stuff and store brands were out, but there was a big locked glass cabinet with Nivea, oil of Olay, all of the higher end body lotions and face creams. They were locked up. And I just could not believe what I was seeing. But you know what? Times are hard. And we're not like stopping people at the door if they run off with stuff here these days. And a guy can come in and sweep a whole shelf into his backpack and they'll let him walk out. So I guess to like counterbalance that, they don't put a lot of shelf stock out, so that they don't get swept into backpacks and stuff. But damn, it's kind of weird going out there. It's like we're in a different country, but that's the sign that things are really people are struggling. They're
Oh,
struggling. Look what they're
yeah.
reduced to.
Oh, definitely. Yes, because yes, I've heard of that going on for the longest time, for a few years now, where they were just more or less saying, okay, they're flat out stealing, like let's say Walmart, you just let them go through out the
Mhm.
door.
Mhm.
You don't even stop them anymore. And I'm going, oh my God.
Yeah.
Mind you, oh, there are those that are desperate. They will
Mhm.
steal certain things, but then there's those that are stealing things that they don't need.
Oh, to
How
burn.
desperate are
Yeah.
they? But they're taking advantage of those that somebody wants to steal a can of soup to feed their kids. I get
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
The store could take a loss, but at least stop them, find out what's going on, and write that can of soup off. I don't care. But when it's a shopping cart full of stuff that is not essential items, like, oh my God. But yeah, it's scary out there because there's a lot of that going on here too now, um, as well.
Yeah,
And
and it's not just in the big cities. I don't live in Los Angeles proper. Los Angeles is made up of dozens of smaller cities.
right,
When you see LA, you're talking a lot of cities, not just the city proper. But
right.
so it's crime is like has crept out into the outlying areas, the cities, the like neighborhoods. It's just yeah, it's everywhere.
And I get that. And you know what I find very startling? I'm not sure if we have this going on up here yet, but I know you guys are going through this. You go away, let's say for even a week or two, somebody moves into your house, you can't get them out of your house.
That. has that is real, folks.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh my God.
Yep, and
So
Airbnb owners are running into the same thing. They'll get
I believe it.
a renter, and they're having trouble getting them out, and the law is on their side. You know,
Right? Yes.
Mm,
But yeah, so oh my God, times have certainly changed, I'll tell you.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
crazy.
and yeah, it's like there's been a massive shift in people's m- morality, their honor, their mental capacities, their wisdom. It's like we've suddenly gone down a notch on the evolutionary scale, or maybe 10 notches. We're turning back into savages.
Yeah. It is truly just mind-boggling. And and it's been a slow transition because I'm gonna say that this has been going on well before 2020.
Oh,
I
well
think it's
before.
been slowly come for the last maybe 2 decades, it's been slowly creeping in.
At least, and it's like boiling frogs. They don't know
Exactly.
they're dying.
Yeah, exactly. And as we're going along our daily lives, we're hearing things and we're just going, okay, there you go. We
Oh,
just
oh,
accept it's like, okay, this is the thing now. And we aren't upset and want to take action by it.
yeah,
We just accept it now.
yeah,
That's just mind-boggling to me. It's like, wow,
yeah.
wow. But
But if you don't accept it, in some extremes, you're ended.
yeah,
You know, do you want to end? Then
well, the
keep
thing
it
is
up.
too, if you try to make a stand and rise up and go, no, this is totally wrong. This is not how it was. You're pretty much fighting alone because
Yeah.
everybody's too. They took the whatever color pill they took, and they're just going with the flow, like all these sheep just going off, and it's like, oh my God, you know. And
Well,
yeah,
they don't know who their leader is really, and what the meaning of it is. What's your mission statement, Bubba?
oh my God, I think both our countries have burnt our mission statements years ago.
Oh God, did we even have one? Yeah, I forget. Yeah, holy shit. But meanwhile, what we do here in these parts is we amuse ourselves the best way we can. We do silly stuff like this on the internet, and you guys, Prairie Queen is a quilter.
Yes, among other things. But yes, right now, I think I have OCD because I go from crocheting, then I start knitting, then I stop that, and then I am now in my quilting phase. And I'm among a group of ladies. There's about 8 of us, I think. Yeah, about 8 of us that get together at one lady's place, and it's really cool. I'll send you a picture someday. Um,
Yeah,
about where we normally meet in the wintertime because it's a renovated log barn.
no kidding.
How quaint is that?
I love that.
And
And how's it heated?
floor heating.
Really? Okay.
Yes. And it's it's wonderful. And then they extended said barn. So we have a bathroom, there's a shower in there, there's a bathroom. There's
Wow.
a kitchenette. The only thing missing, we have a microwave, a kitchen sink. There's no stove, but that's okay. And of course, a coffee area, and also an area in the wintertime where one of the grown-up sons sleeps in the um, kitchen area, dining area in the wintertime. He could sleep in the house with mom and dad, but he's well old enough that he's got it cramps his style, right?
Oh, oh,
And
totally get.
he's
Yeah.
well into his 20s and he doesn't need that. But anyways, in the summer months, spring through fall, we have to quit meeting there because actually it's an office setup,
Oh, okay.
which is also because they have workers and they work on a sod farm. And
Okay.
which is that there's a couple of sod farms around here because we have a lot of peat moss. So it's great to, and their area is great for growing the sod. And but then we gather in the winter time in this, we call it the barn because that's what it used to be. And her husband, he did everything from um, cleaning off the logs with a jet spray
Uh,
situation to what they did was uh, it was a partial dirt floor because they used to have farm animals in it. They
okay.
cleaned the walls on the inside. He cut out extra windows. There's a patio door, in floor heating. Um, you'd never know that there used to be a cow in there.
I'll be darned. How
It's
cool is
awesome.
that?
And she
Oh,
keep that picture that I sent you of me quilting on the long arm
yeah.
quilting machine is in that barn.
Okay. Now I'll go back and take a closer look. How
Then you'll
cool
see
is
it's
that?
all log walls because it's the original log walls.
Oh,
And when
that's great.
they added on more log kind of situation going on there. It's a really cool place. So that's what I've been doing. I've been quilting, and my original goal was over a year ago was I've got all these scraps sitting in a couple of big grocery bags. I didn't know what to do with them, and I thought, okay, I'll make a true scrappy quilt. If it looks like hell, it looks like hell. If it looks good, I'm going to call it the Jackson Pollock quilt.
Okay. Good name.
So I nicknamed it the Jackson Pollock, and I I I sent you a picture of it before it was quilted, and um,
Yeah.
yeah, and it actually shocked me that it turned out, and it inspired the girls because I think they were all going, "Oh, this could go two ways," and I was thinking it too. And
Yeah.
I just thought, I don't care. I'm having fun and cutting it up, and it's 2.5 inch squares, sewing them all together. It
Dang.
is what it is. And so now I'm back to cutting up 2.5 inch squares and 1.5 inch squares because I'm crazy. Because I can still squeeze an inch and a half square out of some of this fabric and slowly collecting so I can make some more.
Wow.
And
Wow.
while this is going on, then all of a sudden, after they saw this quilt on that wall, that's where I took those pictures too, was in the barn. Um, and that's why you see log walls. And then they all got this great idea. So next thing you know, we meet on a Tuesday. They showed up with bags of scraps, and
Oh
they're going,
my.
"Here you go." So now even say to them, "Oh my God, I have got at least 4 times the amount of scraps that I started out with."
Oh, that's
So
funny.
yeah. So that is my also recycling type goal because there's so much throwaway
Mm,
in the world, plastic, everything else. I'm trying my
yeah.
best to work on that kind of stuff too. But in the meantime, I'm like, okay, I need to sew all these crazy bits of fabric together to make quilts. At least it's functional,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
And
Um,
it's made with your two hands. I love that.
Yeah. So I find what picture I sent you was me the first time on a long arm quilting machine ever. I was kind of panicking and I was following, my head was down behind the machine because I was following a laser light. There was a
Uh,
pattern back there. So I was just follow the lines. You can't go
ah,
wrong kind of thing. So yeah.
how
Yeah. So
neat.
yeah. Yeah. So that's my thing now. And I feel as though, like I said, for me, it's my little contribution to the world of I am trying to recycle and not buy more.
Yeah.
Unless, I can make my blankets. Sure, I'm buying, the batting and the backing.
Mhm.
Um, but it's less waste. And to buy anything, I'm going to be buying in the tiny town south of me because
Mhm.
she has a fabric store and she has yarn and cross
Oh,
stitch
how
and
cool.
everything else. She's branched out. I would rather support her when I need to, but my goal was basically do not spend money on your quilts if at all possible. If you do, like the tops, only $30. That's it.
Oh,
And you have to do the rest yourself.
there you go. Oh,
Yeah,
that's so cool. That is so cool. I love
yeah,
that.
yeah.
And and it gives you pleasure just to keep your hands busy too.
And sanity too, because I can turn on an
Yeah.
audio book and listen to it or listen to music and tune out the world
Yeah.
and create. Like I had said to the people last stream, I refer to my place as Paradise Acres. It's a few acres. It's my part of paradise ever since I moved here, and I blocked out the
Sweet.
world.
Sweet. That is there's nothing better.
Yeah.
Nothing better. Oh, I love it so much.
So,
I
but I'm
love
a
hearing
crafter.
about it.
Yeah, and I'm a crafter by heart. I love doing trying all sorts of things at least once, or most things at least once. Don't. I thought of welding, but I thought no, no,
How
that.
fun. I learned how to solder. I can wire a circuit board,
Well, there
but
you go.
welding, dang, that's hardcore.
I know, right? And I just thought, okay, you got to stop because
Yeah, yeah, you got plenty to keep you busy. You don't need to go burn things.
well, this is it. Yeah. The only serious hardcore metal thing I ever did was take an angle grinder and slowly cut the top of an oil drum out so I could make a burn barrel. Um,
Okay.
and yeah, after that, it was like, okay, I done it. It's fine. I needed the burn barrel, but
Yeah,
no
you
more.
did the practical thing. That's yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And,
too funny.
also too, living out in the country, you like for myself, you have to have that mindset. So I do try to do a lot of things by myself, but I know where my limitations are too. Like, there's certain things I will not do. Um, I'll call in backup or I'll just have somebody do it for me
That's
because,
smart.
yeah, because it's like you're by yourself. And even though you got your cell phone with you, if
Yeah.
it goes flying out of your hand and you broke your limbs, how are you supposed to crawl over to
Go
yourself?
go after your phone with your foot in a bear trap. Yeah.
Right, there you go. Yeah, exactly. And the bears run off with the phone, right? So it's like, okay, well, there's that too. So, but no,
Uh,
yeah. But I know you're a crafter as well. So what all do you do?
well, I not so much anymore. I God way back. I used to carve leather. I had like every kind of leather carving, stamping tool and knife and burnishing stuff.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
I made gosh, I made sandals, I made purses, I made key fobs, and I carved a big side of leather. One time I carved a little buffalo, a herd of buffalo in the middle of it, and I used to have a blade called a hair knife.
Mhm.
It's for working in leather, and it's like a bunch of little blades all in one, so you can like replicate hair in the
Oh,
leather
my.
when you're carving.
Wow.
Yeah, and painted shoes. There was an artist in Oregon. Her name was Goddess Kringen, Shannon Kringen, and she odd lady, but she used to paint shoes and purses, and so it was great, and so I started painting shoes for a while. I still have
Mhm.
all my supplies. Yeah, I used to sew. I still have a really, really nice sewing machine. My boss gave it to me. It belonged to her mother, and it is like top of the line Singer console sewing machine.
Mm.
It has every kind of attachment in the world. It'll do French hymns. It does all this shit, and it's perfect. And I've got the original. It's from the 50s. I've got the original instruction book, everything, and uh, it's just a piece of furniture. And I could go over there. I could pull my chair around and open it up and do the thing. But do I? No. But I have great memories of doing crafts. That was some of my greatest joy was
Mm,
crafting and painting and polymer clay. My daughter taught me how to work with polymer clay because she's an
mhm.
artist. Yeah,
Oh, wow. I dabbled in clay a little bit, but I just, yeah, no, I, it was short lived. Yeah, I
yeah.
tried. Oh, and remember gallery glass? It's
Okay.
that fake stained glass.
Oh, wait, and you put the oh yes, and there were two ways to do it with the little pellets. You had that you
Hmm.
melted, and then you also had the liquid that you dropped in
Yeah,
the little sections.
I did the liquid, and it dries. Well, it's like a glue
Yeah,
and
yeah,
colored, and then yeah. So you do your little fake lead lines, and then,
yeah.
and they were great because I would put them on vinyl, um,
Ah,
a thin vinyl, and I would make window clings.
yes,
And,
yes.
so then I discovered it recently in the bottom of my closet with a
Ah,
in a dusty box, and I'm going, okay, well, I guess we're not doing that anymore. When's the last time did you? Because you can
oh,
only have so many window clings.
this is true. This is true. There is a capacity limit. Yeah, but I've got this buffet unit in my dining room, and I've got boxes and boxes like shoe size plastic boxes with like dried up paints. I have
Mm-hmm.
all these paint brushes. I have glitter. Oh my! I have glitter up the nose. Um, just all and one of these, I keep saying, one of these days I'm going to pull it all out, get rid of the old stuff, and see what I have. But do I do it? No, no, no,
Yeah,
no.
I hear you. You got to be in the mood for that because you're also, if you're like me, you're going, well, it's dried up, it's empty. Well, there, and throwing it away, you're going, well, there was a waste of money.
Oh, there's that aspect, huh? Yeah, I
I
never
always
thought
do
of
that.
that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Now I planted that in your head. I am so
Okay,
sorry.
so now you have thoroughly ensured that I will never touch it again. No, I'm kidding.
Let your kids go through it and going, what the hell was mom keeping a dried up bottle of paint for?
Painful. Oh, yeah,
Yeah. Well, but
yeah,
no, I go through my house and once in a while I do get rid of some stuff going, well, that's really silly. And
yeah. Yeah, I've
um
been shedding stuff for like 20 years. 20
mm,
years. I've been giving things away, selling things, trashing things,
mm.
abandoning things, and I'm down to everything I own is in one little apartment now. And boy, how liberating it is. But
It
I've
is.
got all this craft shit that I'm not going through yet.
Well, the thing is, in my house, I can get rid of a lot of different things, but oh my God, it's so hard to get rid of yarn,
Mm,
beads,
oh, yeah.
material, um, things that I look at it and go, oh, I can make something out of this, and
Mm,
or I'm saving
oh.
it for that, and then yeah.
It's a
Well,
yeah, it's like this is a perfectly good box. Yeah, it's
exactly. Oh my God. And that's my problem working at the post office because when we do get boxes in,
mm,
it's a bit of a joke between the previous postmaster and myself now, because she went through that phase. She would just take the empty box home. Then her
oh
kids
dear.
would go out into their shop and say, "Mom," or in her basement and saying, "Mom, you don't need this box." And she internally would be kind of crying and screaming, and they would flatten the box and out the door it would go because it was a
Yeah,
perfectly good box.
it was a good. Yeah, yeah. And you know what's really alluring about the boxes thing is now you can get these boxes of all sizes and they have magnetic flaps.
Oh, how cool is that?
Is that killer? I haven't
That
thrown
is
one of those away yet.
I've never seen them yet, but I hope we get. Well, I don't know. That brings up the game. Then what you do is you cover them with fabric or decorative paper for storage.
It's endless. It's endless. It's absolutely endless. Yeah,
It is.
a lid that opens up on one side. When you close it, it has a flap that goes snap.
How
Uh,
fun is that?
is that great? And you can get little things, like little things are coming in magnetic lidded boxes. They're just so cute. Yeah. So beware, it's coming north.
Oh my God. Well, I hope
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
But then in
Here
the
it comes.
meantime, I've got a sea of boxes. I'm even embarrassed to let you see it. I should show you. I did go out last fall and flatten a ton of them, but
That's a
it's well,
job, man.
it is. It is. You got to take your coffee out there in a thermos and turn some music on and just mindlessly
Pull up a
start.
chair. Yeah, you gotta have a
Yeah.
folding chair out there. And then it's sometimes it's a good idea to wear some kind of gloves because those box fibers will get in your skin. You notice?
Oh, well, that
Th-
makes sense.
I've had like some like, go between my fingers and that real delicate meat between your fingers, and it makes you crazy.
Mm,
Yeah, it
but
depends on the box and how old it is and all that stuff.
newspapers.
Oh yeah.
I've got bundles of newspapers that were left over from work or from people recycling. I, of course, have to bring the recycling home. And I've got boxes full of newspapers, leftover ones.
Uh,
And I'm like, at first I thought, well, this is a good idea. I'll just, flatten them out, several layers out in my garden area. Do you think
mhm.
that's ever going to happen? No.
You speak the words of my people. Yeah.
And I've had to, thankfully, I have the ability to take, which I've done every year with help of friends. We've gone and taken boxes of newspapers and other things like that, and we have thrown them into a big pile, and I would burn it
No. Okay.
because I didn't know what else to do at this point. I was overrun. It was just too much for one person. But I've got my newspaper collection going on again, and I'm like, okay, this is embarrassing. I told myself, no, this year you're going to do it. You're going to actually go out there. You're gonna tow them out in your little garden wagon, and you're gonna dump them out in your garden area, and you're gonna start flattening them out and building a bigger garden with them
Yeah.
and the cardboard. We'll see how far I get.
Do you watch Howie of Food Forest Permaculture?
I think I've heard of him.
Yeah, he's over at where is he? He's on the west end of Canada, west end
Okay,
of oh, it's an island, not
Vancouver or
is it Vancouver? Must be I think it is. I think it's Vancouver. Yeah, but anyway, he tells you how to, make your own soil and how to plant and doing permaculture. And he's
yeah.
brilliant. And he uses a lot of cardboard with, making his soil. And
Oh
he
wow.
says to make your own soil, you do a layer of green, a layer of brown, a layer of green, a layer of brown. And it's a simple, yeah, formula. He makes trail soil places
Mm,
where he just throws all of his garbage along trails, and he just the walking kind of helps process it.
mhm.
So anyway, yeah, food forest permaculture. He's absolutely brilliant. Oh God, Prairie Queen, we've been on for more than an hour.
We could go on and on and on. You're
No,
such a
right?
delight to talk to.
Oh, and you as well. So we're gonna do this again, folks. But
Yes.
however, I have an onion and a potato hanging on my back door. And I'm gonna
Uh-oh.
go do something with them and then call my neighbor back and apologize for not giving her instant gratification by answering her phone calls at every ring. I'm sorry, Jane Jetson, out there in Jetson land. Bless your heart.
But
Uh,
that is very comforting. You've got good neighbors that are keeping an eye out for you. You know?
oh, I am so lucky, and I love them all, and they're just good people, and I couldn't ask for better. So I'm gonna call her up and make nice and thank her for my onion and my potato.
Mhm. And I'm not sure about you, but I'm seeing is John in our chat.
I know John. Yeah, he's our lone audience member.
Well, good for you, John, for sticking it out to the end.
Oh, honey, thank you for hanging in there with us two old dames. You are a stalwart companion, and we thank you. And he even said, "Great chat." Bless your heart,
Yeah. Oh,
John.
yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Well, I do build this as the most boring show on YouTube, and hey, we live up to that every single time, guaranteed. So anyway, Prairie Queen, my dear, thank you so much for being here and
Oh,
doing this.
my pleasure. I enjoy it. I really do.
And
So,
and we are gonna do it again. We are for sure gonna do it
yes.
again. And I am going to close out by because I finally got to learn how to do it. I'm gonna close end this show with my clip of Wendell.
Oh,
Yeah, here's
oh,
Wendell walking through my dining room, stopping in my doorway to look directly at the camera and hitch up his pants.
oh my
Baby,
goodness.
feel free to stop this brief video at any point to enjoy the display. Okay, Prairie Queen, I love you, darling, and we'll see you soon, okay?
All right, you take care. Bye for
Okay,
now.
bye for now, everybody. Thank you for coming. Okay, see you, bye.
To the same freaking.
Okay, bye.